What's up guys, I'm Loops, and this base isn't a base. This is a heli tower, and it is wipe tested by me and my group. It's extremely effective, and it's one of the best I've ever used. Enjoy.
Take my eyes open to force reality.
What's up guys, I'm Loops, and this is a, pretty solid heli tower. This is the second iteration of this build, so I did do another try and record it, but I wasn't really happy with the outcome, so I just kind of redesigned and changed some stuff with the foundation and the amount of shooting floors and some stuff like that. Overall, it got reduced in size a little bit. But the final product is a really solid heli base. So for the start, we're going to do the foundation that I just did. It's a pretty simple one. Starts with a square, then two circles, and just kind of fill in on the sides. And over here, we do our airlocks and obviously walls. Then over here, we're just going to kind of seal off the core to a half wall and two full walls there. And just kind of make the core separated. Do a short wall there. And that's where our TC is going to go, and we're going to have an unloadable TC. So drop the unloadable TC back there. Quick note, you should always do the half wall before you put in the unloadable TC. And then right here, we're going to do our first garage door. This is going to be a crouch jump to climb base, so this base is, we'll use crouch jumping to get up and down it. So there's no stairs and no ladder hatches up until the very top, obviously. I just don't think ladder hatches are very efficient for heli bases because they can get in the way when you're trying to move fast. Also, ladder hatches, you can only move one person up and down at a time. So that's about our first floor. The first floor, that extra area, you can fill with boxes or bags or whatever you really need to fit down there. Then underneath here we have our extra safe loot. And then we put doors all the way around in here. So this way, if the heli starts to rocket, we can get out of the way of the rockets really quick. This is like the only time I ever use these horizontally slanted window covers. I don't really use these often. I really only use them on bases intended for a fighting heli. I'd also like to make a quick note of how useful these bases are outside of cave bases. So if you've got like some big beefy cave base, having a heli base outside is really useful because obviously it's an above ground spawn, but it's just like a general use base outside of your cave, so you don't have to be jumping in and out every time you want to grab something. I highly recommend making these for cave bases. Up here I was kind of experimenting with some overhang stuff, but I ended up not doing any. Just did another floor of windows here. And then obviously another layer of doors like we had on the previous floor to keep it safe. And then just finish up the roof for this floor. I also tried to do overhangs on this floor, and I ended up just not doing overhangs at all because they just didn't really work on the space. So I just kind of removed them off once I saw how impractical they would be. Okay, so what these are is they are like the normal bunker windows that I do, but the difference is they're built for shooting up. These are really great for fighting heli when there's people around because you can shoot up and people can't shoot in at you from outside. Then get a box there to get a bit more elevation if the heli is too low. And garage doors obviously to cover it off. And then around the rest of it, I just kind of did, well, normal bunker windows and just normal windows around the outside. So pretty good design on this floor. Very practical for shooting up, down, wherever. Then we put garage doors in here and more half walls. And just put the floors in. And there we go, we're almost halfway done with the base. Now this floor is going to be a floor intended for covering your loot once, you've downed the heli. Something a lot of people don't realize when building your heli towers is, one, you have to build the heli tower to fight the heli, but two, you also are building your heli tower to protect it once it's down. You can't protect the helicopter on the ground alone. You need the tower to support you if you're going to be dominant in controlling the helicopter loot. So, when you take heli, you need to always take it near your base, and you always need to have a heli base that can fight off people as well as a helicopter. So that is the main intention of a floor like this. And then just put in doors like we have on all the other floors. Except, unlike all the other floors, there will only be 2 sets of doors on this instead of 4 sets of doors, because there's just not room for 4 sets of doors. And we put in floors here. Oh, and I almost forgot, put in doors on the floor below. Alright, now getting back on it, we finish up putting the embrasures in, and this floor is looking about done. Well, obviously we're going to have overhangs though, because we're not done with, well, we don't need to lose that much floor space, so we're going to add overhangs to get it back. Put in windows and doors here, more and more windows and doors, and more role player roof overhang things. Just more role player roofs. Alright, then we just throw some ladder hatches on this. This is the first floor I've used ladder hatches for, because obviously they're kind of slow to get up and down. That's why I'm not a fan. And do a bit of a wraparound here of half walls and low walls, as well as some more windows. So yeah, up here the stability does get a little bit sketchy, but doesn't matter because the base is almost done. Alright, we're about to reach the height of where our main tag tower is going to be. So in a heli base, for those not extremely familiar with building, your tag tower is going to be the highest point on the base, and you use it for hitting the heli from afar with a sniper rifle to try and draw it close to you, so you are able to get it. And on this floor, we're just going to do a little wraparound like this, and add our little tag tower now. So our tag tower is just going to be this 1x1 with 2 triangles. Just do this little setup up here to top it all off. That's about it for this tower. Obviously, besides the embrasures. Alright, now we are going to move on to something a little bit different. What we're going to build now is 2 little takeoff pads and garages for mini copters Minicopters are really important to have at a helicopter base because if you're far from any like major monuments where the helicopter might fly to, you can actually use a minicopter to bring a pilot and a gunman close to it, shoot the helicopter once, and fly towards your base, and the helicopter will chase you back a majority of the time. So, minicopters are always good to have on hand when covering heli. Along with that, if heli goes down a way away from home and you accidentally knock it down, a square away, you can move a lot of people really fast with minicopters. And, it's always nice to have a sniper up in the air when you're just covering stuff on the ground to scout people out. Alright, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.